Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a question and answer. We've had a lot of questions that we haven't been able to get to in our previous lives, and I wanted to be able to address those as well as any other questions that you may have right now. So, without further ado, Danielle, what's our first question?
Can you talk more about strategies for overall gut health?
So, strategies for overall gut health. Our GI tract is super important, right? 70% of our immune system is there. All of our food is absorbed into the body through the small intestine, and the precursors or subproducts of our neurotransmitters are all made in the small intestine. So super, super important that we take care of our entire GI tract, our stomach, our small intestine, our large intestine. We can do that by making sure we are well hydrated, making sure that we are trying to eat more raw as we can, more organic. You know, there's not all or nothing. There's not an ideal perfect. But if you can move more raw than processed, more organic than non-organic, that's going to be a good thing. Eating fermented food, kimchi, sauerkraut, all those things that I personally do not like at all. That is good. Making sure that we have good acid in our stomach to help break down our food. All these antacids are terrible for us. Eating food that doesn't have antibiotics in it, because we need the good bacteria in our small intestine to help break down our food. And trying to be on a regular digestive tract cycle of ideally one meal in, one meal out. I talk to a lot of patients and they only have one bowel movement once a day, some even once a week. But in an ideal world, with everything moving well, it should be one meal in, one meal out. And that all starts, it's the last thing I'm going to say about this topic, is with chewing our food. That is where it all starts. Chewing tears up the food, but it also, so it's smaller and easier to break down further down the chain, but it also covers it with saliva. Saliva has all sorts of enzymes that start that breaking down process, and the process of mastication, of chewing, triggers our stomach to be ready to receive the food. So every bite you take, I recommend taking smaller bites and chew each bite 10 times if you are having digestive issues. Try it. Try it for a week. Take smaller bites, chew each bite 10 times, even though you've already disintegrated it, and see how that does for you. All right, what's our next question?
Okay, to kind of follow up with that one, what are the top things to eliminate from my diet to help me pursue a more healthy lifestyle with CRPS?
Yeah, best things to eliminate, of course, are processed foods. Alcohol is not really our friend, so really in moderation. Good water. We are 70% water. In our office, we make structured water for our patients going through our CRPS program. They get a glass a day, and that is very important. We know from Dr. Emoto, the famous Japanese research scientist, that water carries energy, and speaking to your water, praying into your water, and the source of your water can dramatically impact your health. Next.
Will diet changes help with my CRPS, or do I need to do more?
Will diet changes? I don't know what you mean by that.
I would imagine it means like eliminating these things from the diet. It was kind of like a follow-up question.
All right. So this would be the last question on food or diet right now. I can only assume this person is talking about elimination of like foods that we are sensitive to. If you eat something and you know that it is upsetting to your GI tract, then don't eat that. Your body isn't ready. And our office part of our program is to reset sensitivities and food allergies. And that is a huge part of what we do. If you're out there on your own, then don't eat the foods that you know are inflammatory. Try to stay away from animal protein and gluten as best you can. All right.
How does CRPS affect surgeries, and how can I prepare for an upcoming one if needed?
So some people call and they tell us that they have CRPS, but they have a surgery coming up, and what can they do about it, and it's non-elective. Obviously, if you have CRPS and you are thinking about having elective surgery, we strongly recommend you do not do that surgery while you have CRPS or while it's not in remission, because your body is very weak and has a very low tolerance, and usually most surgeries make things much, much worse. If you are going to have surgery, remember everything in your body is cumulative stress. We've talked about this before. It's not just the physical stress or the chemical stress or the emotional stress, it's the totality of all of it. So if you know you're going to have surgery, which is going to be this is a major physical assault to the body and an emotional one, then if you have some advance warning, do everything you can to lower all of your stressors. But try to have a really clean diet, high water, work on getting as much sleep as you can, practice some very mindful, peaceful mindset so you can lower your emotional stresses, and that's it, I guess, right? We talked chemical from foods. Oh, if you are someplace like in an inner city or out on a farm where there's a lot of pesticides, try to do what you can to get away from pesticides, get away from car exhaust, diesel fumes, things of that nature.
Is it harder to treat someone who has POTS or other autoimmune diseases on top of CRPS?
Many, many people that have CRPS also have POTS, right? They have positional orthostatic syndrome, and or they have EDS. Was that the other? Yeah. So either Donlow's, where the joints are hypermobile. This is very common. It's not harder. The things that we do, my program is designed to minimize the effects of that. We see people all the time that just come in and POTS is their only thing. They don't have CRPS plus POTS or EDS and POTS and CRPS. But I designed my program to address all of those things. It's not harder. But of course, the more things you have going on, then that can impact how long it takes you to recover. But we've had people like that get into total remission.
Is there anything to prevent the spread of CRPS while pregnant?
Yes, pregnancy and CRPS are very interesting. Pregnancy is very interesting. Most people that have some unpleasant condition, something more mild like fibromyalgia or something much more severe like CRPS, when they get pregnant, many of them actually move into remission. That's, the body in its wisdom knows that creating this life or having this life, this new life growing inside the mother is the most important thing, and all of the body's resources are mustered, and many people, the vast majority of the people that I've talked to that have CRPS and get pregnant find that their symptoms are much, much lower during the pregnancy. Afterward, not so much. So again, practicing to the best of your extent, that cumulative stress viewpoint of lowering your physical, chemical, emotional stresses throughout the pregnancy, throughout those first few months following the birth of the child. Those are all going to make a big deal, big difference. Do we have anyone on the live that has a question for us? I may have talked too fast and gone through all those answers.
I found another one. So this is an interesting one, but what do you think the cause is? What do you think the cause of CRPS is?
Yeah, what do I think the cause of CRPS? I think CRPS, for the most part, has many causes that are all coming together. We have a weakness in the immune system. We already have a person who probably has had a lifetime where their body has not been healing or has had a lot of traumas. There is a emotional component to it. You know, all of us deal with physical and emotional stresses differently, some better than others, and that can be a factor. That third thing is the nervous system. Some people have hypersensitive nervous systems, and these are the people that are more predisposed to CRPS. You know, one person can bang their shin into a coffee table. It hurts like heck for 3 minutes, and then they're over it. Someone else bangs their shin into the coffee table, and they have pain for a couple months. It's an unfortunate thing. So we are looking at the immune system, the nervous system, hormones definitely can be a huge factor in CRPS. And so when people have hormone imbalances or difficulty regulating their hormones, difficulty with their autonomic nervous system, then you have a lot of things involved in that, right? The brain, different particular parts of the brain, like the pituitary, are involved. Most of the glands are involved, right? Our thyroid is involved, our thymus, our ovaries, our adrenals. So again, I believe with CRPS, most people, it's the perfect storm. They just have all these factors that all add up, and then there's a final traumatic, either physical or emotional incident that then creates the onset of the CRPS. So, if anyone would like to ask us another question, I would be glad to answer. We are going to be taking next week off, and we will come back in that, I guess, the third week of August and start doing our lives again. Looks like we may have a question.
Mm-hmm. Do you think MALS, median arcuate ligament syndrome, and compression to the coeliac plexus can induce CRPS? And do you have patients with that?
I may have to look at their...
I think I pronounced it very wrong.
Yeah, this goes back to that cumulative stress. There are people that are born with different abnormalities in their nervous system, different abnormalities in their organs, let's say like their heart, very common to have issues there, like mitral valve prolapse. People with different problems with the ganglion plexuses in their body. And so, again, like I mentioned in my last question, these physical things that your body has can be the trigger. Now, there's far more people that have those problems that don't have CRPS than there are people that have those problems and have CRPS. So to flat out say, oh, XYZ caused my CRPS, I don't think that that is a correct statement because there's so many people that have XYZ and don't have CRPS. I think it's the totality of issues that all pile up, and then whatever the last straw is. One of the examples I give is my desk. I have a big, heavy wooden desk, very strong, and we can take a 50-pound bag of sand and put it on the desk and nothing's going to happen. We can take another bag of sand, put that on, nothing's going to happen. Another. We can keep piling bags of sand on my desk and it's going to be just fine. But let's say, and each of those weigh 50 pounds. Let's say we get to that 50th bag of sand and it happens to be purple. And I put it on my desk and the desk collapses. How many of you out there would say that the fact that my desk collapsed when we put the purple bag of sand on it is proof that my desk was not designed to hold purple bags of sand? Only the MDs are going to say that, right? They're very cause and effect. All common sense tells us, no, it's not the fact that the bag was purple, it's the fact that it was the 50th bag, right? It was just too much. It was the last straw or the last bag of sand. And that is really what happens with all sickness and disease in our bodies. Our bodies are designed to keep us healthy from the moment that we were born until our last day. Our body is fighting to do its best to keep us healthy, and but it can only do so much. And it's usually not this one giant bag of sand that gets us. It is the totality of all of these things. So to the extent that we can get good sleep, have good diet, have a great mental attitude, take care of our nervous system, take care of our mind, pay attention to what we're bringing in and who we have around us. These are the things that give us the best chance, our best chance to be healthy throughout our journey on this planet. So I hope you found this information helpful. I always have a great time coming on here, giving you information or answering your questions. I would like to ask you, those of you that do have CRPS out there and you're waiting, you're undecided, please reach out, set up a consultation with me. Let's talk about what's going on with you. For those of you that know someone that does have CRPS, tell them about me. This Facebook is free. This group is free. There's some information on here. And a lot of people that have CRPS think that time is on their side. And for most people, time is not on your side. Most people with CRPS, it's progressive. It gets worse. And the worse it gets, the longer it's going to take to fix. And you might think, oh, my pain is just in my foot and this is terrible, but I can live with it. Yeah, what happens when it spreads to your whole leg or your other leg, your arms, your whole body? So I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I'm trying to be a realist from someone that has seen countless people with CRPS. Please don't wait. It is important to do your due diligence and get the right care, but use me as a resource, please. Give me a call if I can help you either through care or directing you in another direction to help you with your CRPS. I would love to do that. You have my, you can reach out on this group. You can call my office, 919-380-8000. You can Google me, Dr. Pascal. I'm in Cary, North Carolina. I wish you all the best, and we will see you on here next time.